What's up, Cityverse? It's your boy City, and this is the New York City podcast. That is New York CIDDY, and we back with all things Giants city's perspective. And it's like 6:10 in the morning. I'm on my way to work right now, man. But I wanted to go ahead and get a video in to give my closing thoughts on the Giants Cardinals game. Of course, we got a short week coming up before we take on the 49ers, man. And that was an intense game, man. Of course, Daniel Jones showed why I believe he could be MVP. He had time to throw behind that line, man, and surprisingly, we kind of got lucky with a couple of injuries. Not saying that I want anybody to be hurt, but the fact is, when Bredesen got hurt, we got to see essentially a future of our offensive line. Now, they might not be exactly where they're lined up. They had Azudu at left tackle, which, of course, that's Andrew Thomas' position. We paid him a lot of money this offseason, so he's not leaving from that left tackle position. But he's probably going to move over to left guard where Brent Bredesen was when he got hurt. But unfortunately, he was Mark Lewinsky was already on the bench. And then, so when Mark Lewinsky on the bench, we ended up putting Marcus McKeithen in. And I got to say, I like how that line looked, especially coming out in the second half. I don't know if that was the line the whole half. I just know at halftime something dramatically changed on that offensive line. Daniel Jones, he had a little bit more pressure than he did in the first game. He had a little bit more time than he did in the first game, but in that first half, I think he was still getting pressured enough for me to be like, look, he still need more time. But in that second half, something definitely happened, and I'm glad it did. So hopefully, whenever Andrew Thomas come back, he slide in the left tackle. Azudu goes to left guard. We have John Michael Smith at center, and you put Marcus McKeithen at right guard. And give Evan Neal a little bit more time at right tackle. I know he done look bad, but man, you got to get a kid a chance. It's his second year. He been, like I said in the last video, he played left tackle the majority of his career. So that might not be no easy thing to just go in there and change, but he way too big for him to just be getting handled like he do. So hopefully he can get the technique down. And I know Matt don't got nothing to do with nothing, but man, on Matt, he got a 76 in speed. So I'll be trying to figure out why he be getting burnt like he be getting burnt. Like the offensive lineman that's slower than him seem to have a better speed than him, and that's normally based off 40 times. So yeah, but you got that. So hopefully that's what the line looks like. Saquon, man, we dodged the bullet with that, man. I seen it on the play when it happened. And I seen it, and I knew it was going to be bad. So I'm just so glad that it actually wasn't as bad as I thought. Because as the foul happened, I just seen him get folded like a goddamn Alabama lawn chair, boy. They was out there, boy. He was up there folded. So I'm like, man, that don't look good. But they saying it's looking like a 3-week span. They saying week to week, but I'm going to be real. It's probably going to be 3 weeks, especially with Saquon. Not saying he can't heal, but you don't want to risk him getting hurt, especially with the contract, stuff like that. So take all the time you need to heal and get right before you further hurt yourself. Darren Waller actually showed up to the party. I think he was like 6 for 76, so he looked like, okay, he might be a thing at the number one target. Of course, you got Jalen Hyatt, 2 catches, 84 yards. And even our boy Darius Slayton came out there to play. And I ain't going to lie, he made a couple of catches that, I know that one that was out of bounds didn't count. But I could definitely tell he's been working on his catching ability this offseason, because the catches that he was making, they weren't no easy catches, and they were actually shorthand tackles. They weren't not tackles, but catches. Like, he was actually catching it with his hand, and it let me know that, all right, he prepared to catch the ball this season. Now, as far as the Cardinals, man, I tried to tell y'all boys, don't sleep on Josh Dobbs. He was out there. Don't sleep on James Conner. He was out there. I was about to say John Connor, like this guy dang Terminator. But James Conner, he was out there. And I told y'all that boy number 34, Thompson, in the last video. I said, y'all got to watch for him. He aggressive. He didn't have as many plays, or at least when I watched the game, as I thought, but he definitely had that interception, so that count. Like I told you, he be getting active. Yeah, man, I'm scared now. I'm gonna be a buck with y'all, bro. Our defense, we gotta shore that up, because in years past, I could say they was tired. They was out there on the field all day, but the last two games, they've been getting killed from kickoff to the final whistle. Like, all right, y'all was fresh out there. We was getting points scored on us and getting ran through. And so we're going to have to figure out how to shore that up. Kayvon, look, man, you my guy, but, bro, it's time to step up, man. It's time to step up. It's been a couple of games since we've seen them flashes, man, and I don't want them to have you. I don't want to have to defend you being no bust, bro. I know you got the talent, man. Get out there and do what you can do. And the thing that's scaring me about this Kayvon news is, bro, that was the rumor coming out of the draft that he was lazy. He gave up on stuff. Now, I don't want to bring that up and just be like, oh, man, this is who he is. But, hey, man, if the shoe fit, it's still early. But Wink had to say something this offseason. He said, and Kayvon said he took it in stride. He wasn't just talking about him. He was talking about the whole team. But he know what kind of person he is. Well, now, boy, it's looking kind of individual, and I'm going to need you to individually step up. So, yeah, go ahead and get that done. What else I got to say? Our defense in general, we need to get a little bit more pressure. We just ain't getting enough pressure with our front four, front seven, whatever we decide to send. We need to start getting there. Jason Pinnock, man, you had a heck of a game, man. I think you had an interception that they called back, but, bro, you was there. You had a whole bunch of tackles. I think he had like 13 tackles and stuff, and it was some ridiculous numbers. So if I had to say a player on defense, it was definitely Jason Pinnock. My boy MVP Jones out there killing it like I knew he would. And people forget Daniel Jones very first started his career, man. He came back from 17 points down. So I'm always going to have hope in this kid. As long as, like I said, his fumbling was the only issues, and he ain't did that in about a year. And he looked solid when you give him a line. I think the final score was 31-28. Dodged the bullet with Saquon. We can rest easy knowing that it could have been a lot worse. We got the 49ers on Thursday, man, and that's my pastors and mostly the people at my church's team. So hopefully we can go in Thursday. MVP Jones show up, Darren Waller and boys and company show up, and we get that dub, man. But until then, New York City, peace.